welcome back to our trigonometry series for 5.3 mathematics, and this one is going to be looking at using trigonometry to find the area of a triangle. Now, as you can see in this one here, we have a triangle in our diagram over to the right of the screen. And we can see that we have a H in the middle, that's our vertical or perpendicular height. And we can add a whole bunch of things in there. So we can look at how this works. So in terms of this, it is equal to half the product of two sides and the sine of the included angle. That's how we're going to use it in trig. But if you look over here at our example, we have our vertical height creating two right angle triangles, and in this one A over H is sine C. So if we put theta in there, there's our hypotenuse, and this is our opposite side. Alright, so that makes H worth A sine C. So for our vertical height, or our perpendicular height, then becomes A sine C. So you can see that happening there. So the only note that we're going to write is the area of a triangle is equal to half the product of two sides. So you just need two sides, and the sine of the included angle. So you've got to make sure you include that angle. So you can see here, included angle, there's the two sides. And that gives us this formula: area equals a half B A sine C, as you can see up here. Let's check out a couple of examples before we get into some practice questions. Okay, so find the area of these triangles correct to one decimal place. So let's start with our formula. Alright, so A equals a half B A sine C. Let's label our sides. Here's C. So little c, make that A and B, so that's little b and little a. Now we know what to sub in. So we're going to go a half times 9 times 10 times sine of 29 degrees. Now that 9 and 10 can be around the other way, which is probably what it should be, but it doesn't really matter because it's all multiplication. We type that straight into a calculator. Type this into the calculator, and you should get 21.8 centimeters squared, because remember it is area, and that's the one decimal place. One decimal place. Let's see how it actually works. Here's our calculator. Let's move it over this side. Clear it. Alright, so what are we typing in? We are typing a half times 9 times 10 times the sine of 29 equals, and you can see there 21.8 to one decimal place. Okay, let's check out our second example there. Same idea, let's label some sides. Okay, so we've got our sides labelled. Let's use our formula. And let's substitute in our known values. Alrighty, let's type that straight into a calculator and you should get to 0.7 kilometers squared. Remember, we're the squared bit because we are using area. Let's see this happen in our calculator. Let's move it out of the way again. So we have a half times 3.4 times 1.8 times the sine of 119 degrees. And you can see there it's 2.67, etc. That 7 means that 6 needs to go up by 1 to 7, so it becomes 2.7. Quite simple. It's just a standard formula to use to find the solution to the problem. Last problem here. Find the value of x correct to 2 decimal places. So this time we want 2 decimal places. Given that the area of the triangle is 70 centimeters squared. So we're going to do a little bit of backwards mapping here. Same idea though. Let's plug in or pop on some labels. We've got A, B, and C there. I always like to try and make C the angle we've included. And then from there on, it doesn't really matter that much. All right. Let's grab out our formula now. And plug in what we know. We actually know the area, which is 70. And then we're going to go times 11 times x times sine of 93. Let's chuck in our little degree sign. Now that's going to make life a little bit wonky. So let's divide by half, which is just multiplying by 2. Which is going to give us 140 equals 11x times sine 93. Alright, and if we want to get x on its own, we kind of do want to get x on its own. So let's do that. X is going to be 140 over 11 sine 93. And that is going to get us to 12.74. And that is going to be in centimeters, and that's the length of x. Let's double check it. We want 140 over 11 sine 93. 12.742 to 2 decimal places. We got that right. All right, guys. Good luck with your questions. See you in the next video.